Greetings, everyone. Get ready for another podcast from Brainy Blur. I'm trying something a little different, doing videos with my recording podcast on YouTube. I don't know, like we'll see how it works. Like maybe this will lead back into critiquing video games as a whole, but with me in there as well in terms of reviews. It's a little harder sometimes to transfer those files over, but we'll see. Black perspectives on video games. Just like we're gonna do black perspectives on films, like I always like to do, considering my original undergrad major. What can I say? I'm gonna talk about The Woman King. I really wish I saw this in theaters. I don't know what I was thinking. It was a weird weekend. I didn't really get to it. I don't know what was going on, honestly. But yeah, a lot of great things happening in The Woman King. There's some issues historically accurate. I don't know if I'll get into that because spoilers, I guess. But I do want to get into a few different things, and I'm going to talk more about like crew before I get into the cast. Cast is of course a highlight, but so um the director Gina Prince Bythewood, who you might know from Beyond the Lights, Old Guard, or even Love and Basketball, is black woman director, unfortunately from UCLA, the rival, but I mean, I got Ryan Coogler in USC. It's not all that bad. So that is a really cool thing to have, a black woman director doing these things and creating it. And also the musical score is by Terrence Blanchard, who at first I was like, I didn't think of, but then I looked him up randomly. I was like, oh yeah, score, I guess, Terrence Blanchard. Like, and then I learned, this guy is in a bunch of things I've seen. First of all, he does a bunch of Spike Lee collaborations like Malcolm X, The Five Bloods, Black Klansman. He does a bunch of just black films in general. Love and Basketball, speaking of again, Eve's Bayou. Um, what else? Recently, One Night in Miami as well. So he does a bunch of black film score, and we talk so much about like Hans Zimmer, John Williams, and here's this black jazz score musician who I'm not recognizing all this time. And from now on, I'm going to pay attention. I'm looking out for you, Terrence Blanchard. Can't wait to see what else you produce musically wise for a lot of these film scores. So I'm excited for that. That is a good thing. And moving on to the cast. So the cast is off the chain amazing. We've got Viola Davis, another great performance on her end. John Boyega. I love seeing John Boyega, especially in something this black, as I know it's stuff he likes to be involved in. Lashana Lynch, who I'm always a fan of seeing Lashana Lynch. And Sheila Atim, who's gotten some recent fame lately. We have the Sam Ryder, who I know from Instagram, black girl who can do her own stunts, martial arts, everything like that. And of course, a wonderful new performer, Thusu Mbedu. Who knows if I said the name right? Turns in a great performance as Nawi. She's the lead and actually holds her own pretty well against like some very wonderful actors surrounded by. And I definitely enjoyed what went on here in terms of like the costumes, outfits, the Dahomey Amazons, which the Dora Milaje of Black Panther are based on, powerful warrior woman, and chance that like Xenon warrior princess, like not Xena. Well, that's another thing that but Xena warrior princess got her chance from, right? Some of those yells. And again, wonderfulness to see these powerful women. I love that. Y'all know me. That's my jam. But it's cool to see, some of the issues between them and other African tribes, the Oya tribe, and they have their back and forths, which is basically what happened in real life. I mean, in my books, I even put the Asante Kingdom leaders of northern Ghana and how they basically were. I mean, if your ancestry is Ghanaian, like those were the enemies. The Asante Kingdom, they were the basically villains, like taking over and sending everyone to slavery. And it makes no qualms about them doing that in the film, but there is some changes in the end that didn't really happen with the Dahomey and everything. But it's still nice to see because powerful black women killing white men, definitely always a fan of. I can't complain about that. moving along from that, we also have some interesting perspectives of Jordan Bolger, who's got, half white, half black, and trying to figure out where he's at. It's an interesting thing. It's a rare time when, the old podcast of this thing used to be biracial blurred. I did not like that because I am black, and that is how it is. And there's even a line specifically in the film by Santu talking about even like what happens, like, like he's surprised, he's not on the block in a sense, which and end of the day is how white people are going to treat you, period, honestly, especially Malik's character is black, I'm black, but it does have some of that interesting part of like being black and white and that struggle that comes in, which I wasn't expecting to see at all, but it was an interesting perspective overall on that one. But still not as interesting as, of course, the amazingness of the woman, and even like one of the women comes in from a rival village to make her own power. But it's really cool, I'm reminded of old Zulu TV show, right? But this time now, everybody is woman. They're all women in terms of this, and it's really cool just to see. Honestly, I think that's the big thing. It's a lot of fun. It's so much fun to see all those things happen and just how cool all these ladies are. And the film, I truly wish I saw it in theater because the set design is also, or the production design is also a great job. Just seeing the old Dahomey Palace and kind of royal village area in a sense is just really cool to have that like kind of fortified thing. And yes, it's not castles, but we had our own forts in a different way and set, but it was still a sense of power and understanding and symmetry and building overall. So that's great to see. And it's a cool one. Truly wish I saw it in theaters. Anyways, if you haven't checked this out, y'all have to check this out. With that being said, that's all, and take care, everybody. Have a great day.